welcome to IMT.
Good morning, Dr. Bhatnagar. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Sir, it's our privilege that from your precious time you have spent and spare time for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you to you and Mr. Sharma also for inviting me on this occasion. So
let's start the program, sir.
Yeah, please.
So first of all, a very good afternoon to all. Myself is Amit Sharma. A very warm welcome to all of you who have joined this inaugural session of our special lectures by our esteemed guest on the occasion of World Entrepreneur Day. We are organizing this program under the joint collaboration of IIC, Institutions Innovation Council of IIMT College of Management, and EDCEL of IIMT College of Management. For the first session, our esteemed guest is a person who is a well-known name in the finance area. Welcome. I'm extending my hearty welcome to Mr. Ajay Sharma ji. Welcome, sir. Mr. Ajay Sharma ji is Assistant Secretary General at the Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India. He has been to this prestigious post since 2005, and it's really a tremendous achievement. He has received letters of appreciation from our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for his efforts in corporate sector of India. He has been on many government advisory groups, task force, including India Internet Governance Forum, and on the board of NCTI, National Center for Trade Information, a Commerce and IT Ministry initiative. Mr. Ajay Sharma has did his Masters of Business Administration MBA in International Business from European University in '97 in Belgium. He also completed the prestigious management program on leadership and emotional intelligence from Indian School of Business. He has also a law degree from Delhi University. One more skill that he possesses, that he is a very good football player, and he represented Delhi State at the National Football Championship at sub-junior and junior level in 1986 and 1987. I know that he's still very fond of football. So his core competency areas are advocacy, policy research, communication strategies, public relations, government affairs, projects and events, business development. Warm welcome to you again, Ajay ji.
Thank you, Amit ji.
Today we are celebrating World Entrepreneurs Day. World Entrepreneurs Day recognizes and celebrates the efforts of individuals who start a business venture. The day is here to create awareness for entrepreneurship and innovation. However, on this day, entrepreneurs must ponder on lessons learned during the ongoing COVID pandemic. The once in a century pandemic was a really check, but taught us to embrace the new normal. A few days back, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has released rupees 1,625 crores for entrepreneurs. There are indications that upcoming 1 or 2 years will provide opportunity to everyone to create their own space in the arena of entrepreneurship. The time has brought new challenges to us, but these challenges are creating new opportunities. India has truly woken up to the digital age only after the pandemic. Education is a great example of this. COVID-19 was a wake-up call. We realized that virtual learning can be the new normal for the education sector. The world can truly be digital, and unlike the developed countries, India has now woken up to the fact that the next few years are going to be a great time for the country. New technology creating a new shape of our country. But there are so many hindrances also. It's not easy to achieve the goal that we are envisioning today. So our esteemed guest will enlighten us with his knowledge and experience on this subject in a few minutes after that. But before that, I would like to call Dr. Abhinay Bakshi Bhatnagar. Abhinay Bakshi Bhatnagar ji is the director of IIMT College of Management. Sir, please come to the stage and welcome our guest and introduce this program.
Thank you, Dr. Amit. It's audible. My voice is okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So good afternoon to all, and happy World's Entrepreneurs Day. On behalf of IIMT College of Management, it's my privilege to warmly welcome our very prestigious guest, Shri Ajay Sharma Sir, Assistant Secretary General, Ashokam. Sir, we welcome you from the IMT College of Management, and it's really an opportunity for our students to listen you on such an emerging area of the entrepreneurship. I warmly welcome all my directors, deputy directors, head of the departments, faculty members of IMT Group of Colleges. I am delighted to welcome our three deans. First is Dr. Anil Nigam Sir, who is the Dean for BGMC, Dr. Anshul Sharma, the Dean for BBA and BCA, and Dr. Viba for Bachelor of Commerce. I really appreciate the efforts of Amit Sharma ji. In a very short span of time, he managed such a prestigious guest for us, and I really express my vote of thanks to Amit Sharma ji for making the event successful. Last but not least, I heartily express my gratitude to all my dear students of BGMC, BBA, and BCom to attend such a wonderful webinar, and not taking much of the time because I know our guest is very busy and he spares his time, valuable time, as he is serving to the whole country and he is monitoring a lot of strategies and policies of our economies. So, not taking much of time, I will just focus on the hindrances and challenges as the entrepreneurs are taking. And today's topic is very interesting. We are talking about technological entrepreneurship and what are the major hindrances coming to the entrepreneur when he is starting. Especially, we are talking in the context of India. In an Indian economy, as we know, we are not a developed economy, we are an underdeveloped economy. So there are so many constraints and so many hindrances when you are starting a business. And it's not easy to managing the funds, because one of the most important hindrance, once the idea generated and you start, and that's a kick start. And for that kick start is the funds management. That is the biggest challenge. Secondly, the time management is very, very important. You have to manage the time, because today is a cutthroat competition. Within a fraction of months, you have to launch your product. And then the manpower is another challenge in the hindrance. Choosing the product according to the market and the market strategies according to the need of the hour is also one of the important. And then you should know how to delegate the task and implementations. After that, being an entrepreneur, the Indian government is coming out with large number of policies, promotions, and encouraging the entrepreneurship. Even we are starting at a school level and the college levels, these are the entrepreneurship fields. Though the vision of the Indian government is very clear that in the coming, we need more job producer, not the job seekers. So not taking much of the time, I thanks to all my IMT team for managing such a wonderful event. And thank you, Dr. Sharma Saab, for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your so kind words. Now we have Dr. Anil Nigam ji. He is the president of IISc, Innovations Institutions Council of IMT College of Management. I would like to welcome him. Sir, please. Okay. So he has some technical problems right now because he is in front of me, but his picture is still in the still on the frame.
Was the internet problem? No problem.
So Dr. Anil Nigam is with us. So try.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, all. Actually, due to technical glitch, I'm not able to speak from my office. But I would like to, on this, what should I say, that this special lecture on International Entrepreneur Day. I would like to mention very few things. First, as my director sir has already welcomed and introduced the subject. So on this occasion, only the thing I would like to share with you all that IC of IMT College of Management was formed last year, and we have performed in 3 quarters. IC has organized all the activities which were assigned by the IC of Education Ministry and the ICT. We have organized 2 and 3 types of activities in quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. Quarter 4th is about to conclude on 31st August of this year. We have organized the MIC activities, which are very compulsory, and we have to organize that, and some are elective activities and self-driven activities. The focus of organizing these activities is to actually motivate the faculty and the students to do some innovation and start the startups in the college campus. I think within the span of this 1 year, we are in this position that our faculty members and the students are motivated enough to do the activities, and I hope that with the help of all the faculty members and in the guidance of our director of IMT College of Management, Dr. Abhinna Bakshi Bhatnagar, we would be able to establish good startups in the campus, as well as do the innovation in the field of what should I say, in different sectors, as the college is the running different courses. So as I'm leading the team of journalism and mass communication, and there are some courses at BBA, BCA, BCom. So we will be able to do a lot of activities in that field. So not taking much time, I would like to thank all and welcome our respected guest Ajay Sharma sir, and all the my colleagues and respected guests and the students. And I would like to give this mic to, or what should I say, the word to Amish Sharma sir. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anil Nigam sir. Now the time has come that I would like to give the mic to Sri Ajay Sharma sir for his enlightened word. But before that, I would like to mention something, that our organization is a very old organization. It's an IMT group of colleges, and it has its university also in Meerut. And we have more than 5,000 students in our different courses, and more than 800 faculties we have right now. So all the link has been shared to all of them, and they are watching this program through their own links. So they are very eager to hear you, sir, your experience, your expertise, your knowledge on this subject. So I would like to please, Mr. Ajay Sharma ji, please come to this team.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are very much audible.
Very much audible. Respected Abhinna Bakshi Bhatnagar ji, Professor Nigam, Amit ji, the faculty members, and dear students, a very good morning to all of you. On the occasion of the World Entrepreneurs Day, I would like to wish all of you a very bright future and a great year ahead. I would also like to express my deep thanks and gratitude to the IIMT College of Management for taking this opportunity to invite me, to reach out to me. I'm really thankful to all of you. I would also like to add here is that I had a brief stint with 2 leading educational institutions, which is ICFAI Business School and Amity Business School. And I'm also currently on the board of advisories of the Amity Business School. So thank you once again for all of you for inviting me to this on this occasion of the World Entrepreneurs Day. Friends, as you realize that last year and this year, we have gone through a tremendous challenge, not only us, the entire world. We have seen a lot of challenges, especially related to the pandemic. And I think one thing is very clearly which has come out is that there is a complete disruption in the global economy. And I believe that technology is the answer and the solution to this disruption. And therefore, when today Amit suggested me the topic of technological entrepreneurship, I was a bit concerned because it is not a very simple topic, and therefore I had to do a little bit of research. But however, I thank you, Amit, for reaching out to me once again and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this occasion. So thank you once again. And let's begin this address. So my address is primarily talking about entrepreneurship. What is technological entrepreneurship? It also talks about certain case studies. It also talks about how our Prime Minister is able to nurture this talent of young startups and entrepreneurs in this country when he initiated the Startup India program. And we also talk about not only success, but also about failures and how failure can be a stepping stone for further successes in our lives. So thank you once again. Dear friends, change is inevitable. But what COVID has done is to fast forward the world of technology by 5 years at least. The entrepreneurs who have the vision for the future can capitalize on this. This is very, very important. And that is what the young startups and the entrepreneurs need to understand, that how we can leverage technology to disrupt, to address this disruption. The World Entrepreneurs Day recognizes and celebrates the efforts of individuals who start a business venture. The day is there to create awareness for entrepreneurs and innovation. However, on World Entrepreneurs Day 2021, which is on August 21st today, entrepreneurs must ponder on lessons learned during the ongoing COVID pandemic. The once-in-a-century pandemic was a reality check, but taught us to embrace the new normal. As famously said once, that only the paranoid will survive, by Andy Grove, the legendary former CEO of Intel. He was talking about the qualities of determination, passion, and perseverance needed for becoming a successful entrepreneur. As our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji famously said in 2019, I consider entrepreneurs as India's growth ambassadors. So what is an entrepreneurship? In simple words, it is developing, organizing, and running a business or enterprise to make a profit. This definition is something that has not changed over the decades, but the options and possibilities for entrepreneurs have surely evolved, and how. Today, thanks to technology and digital transformation, a lot of obstacles to becoming an entrepreneur have disappeared and newer opportunities have presented. The modern day definition is more likely the ability to find a solution for a problem, seeing possibilities and opportunities where an average person can only see problems. Again, thoughts and ideas are aplenty. The real entrepreneurs are those who can conceptualize, spot the opportunities, acquire competencies, develop skills, and convert a vision into a meaningful reality. It also boils down to the capability of execution. Yes, being an entrepreneur feels terrific, but what are the traits that set them apart from others? Let's take a look at some of them. They like to take calculated risk on a passion. Entrepreneurs are not afraid of constant challenges and overcome adversity, enabling personal growth as well. They take failure as stepping stones and do not quit. Entrepreneurs are hardworking and disciplined lot. They create jobs and believe in innovative and creating a change. Entrepreneurs feel empowered and able to give back to society and be an essential part of the economy. Finally, the entrepreneurs are forever curious and highly ambitious lot. Entrepreneurship is acknowledged to be a significant driver of national wealth. Today's topic is that technological entrepreneurship, which exploits existing scientific and technological knowledge to meet market needs, is what brings about the national productivity and competitiveness that entrepreneur is set to provide. Our framework stresses the fact that the innovation process is facilitated by technological entrepreneurship, which is in turn preconditioned within the context of favorable policies, institutions, financial and institutional support. However, it has been observed that while entrepreneurship, which is the exploitation of business opportunity, would bring about job creation and wealth generation, it has limitation in bringing about accelerated industrial development that would enable a country to compete in the frontiers of global rapid technological developments. Thus, the concept of technological entrepreneurship has gained more and more attention among researchers, policymakers, government scholars, and firms alike. Technological entrepreneurship, also referred to as technology-based entrepreneurship, can be defined as the setting up of new enterprises by individuals or corporations To exploit technological innovation, it can also be described as commercialization of emerging technological discoveries or innovation. Technological entrepreneurship is defined as a style of business leadership that involves identifying high potential, technology-intensive commercial opportunities, gathering resources such as talent and capital, and managing rapid growth and significant risk using principled decision-making skills. It is also defined the term as a process by which entrepreneurs assemble organizational resources and technical systems and the strategies by entrepreneurial firms to pursue opportunities. Technological entrepreneurship is as being needed to make full use of knowledge of science and technology currently available in meeting market needs, thereby making the country in question more productive and more competitive internationally. This suggests the necessary involvement of a process of industrial innovation in the country's area of strength and endowment to generate productivity and competitiveness. Technological entrepreneurship is initiated and culminated in design, development, production, engineering, and commercialization of innovative new products and processes. Features of technological entrepreneurship are certain attributes that characterize technological entrepreneurship. These attributes are elaborated below: high potential opportunity, technology intensive opportunity, unique technology capable of driving a new business, high risk of failure, longer time to market, demand of infrastructure, facilities, and resources. The role of technological entrepreneurship in social and economic development. A vast body of research exists on the importance and varied contributions of technological entrepreneurship to job creation, economic and social development and growth. It was specifically stated, and we quote as follows: technological entrepreneurship is a key source of economic and social progress. It refers to the creation of new firms by independent entrepreneurs and corporations to exploit technological discoveries. These new firms create jobs, contribute to the well-being of the communities, and generate wealth for the owners. These firms are also the change makers in their respective industries as they bring in new technological paradigms that alter the dynamics of competition and rules of rivalry. Basically, both incremental and radical innovations are important not only for the positive economic impact they typically create, but also because they fundamentally change the behavior of consumers, often in ways that improve their lives. More specifically, the following are the roles of technological entrepreneurship in socio-economic development. Technological entrepreneurship is needed to propel technological innovation efforts into the market. Whenever there's a breakthrough in research and development, it is a place of technological entrepreneurship to commercialize the achievements of technological efforts. Otherwise, it remains in the laboratory without making any impact. One of the reasons why many research breakthroughs never leave the laboratory is due to shortfall of technological entrepreneurs. And unless technological innovation or the output of research and development efforts reaches the market or are commercialized, industrialization would be elusive. Technological entrepreneurship has the potential of improving state of technological capability in a country. This is because as technological efforts are being made, learning takes place. This occurs either by doing or observation, thus improving technological capability in the efforts in question. Because technological entrepreneurship would necessarily involve the commercialization of a research output, more patents are generated, and patents are a well-known indicator of measure of technological development and industrialization in countries all over the world. Technological entrepreneurship is a platform that accelerates the diffusion of successful technological innovation in the economy. This is made possible by private firms that saw an opportunity and decide to market ICT products and services, thereby increasing the pace of diffusion. The diffusion in turn has greatly enhanced the quality of life of the citizens. For a technological entrepreneur to be relevant, he must of necessity meet market needs and be a problem solver. In a bid to meet market need, research and development as well as science and technology efforts must be well coordinated. Science and technology as well as industrialization policies are tailored towards meeting the needs of the market. This, we believe, will invariably bring about socio-economic development. Current status of technological and entrepreneurial interest among students and women. Technology-based entrepreneurship, or simply technological entrepreneurship in particular, is a strong driving force for socio-economic growth in global economy. Technological entrepreneurship is a vital ingredient in any effective national or regional innovation system. While there might be those with unclear preferences, these results imply that most of the students have a preference for entrepreneurship and for technology-based businesses, but the expression of these interests in practice is rather low. Ensuring first and foremost that this high level of interest is sustained and that it is actually expressed in business startups should be the target of any entrepreneurship-related policy intervention. The role of education. In nurturing potential entrepreneurs, education plays a vital role. Entrepreneurial education has been recognized as one of the crucial factors that help the youth to understand and cultivate entrepreneurial attitudes. While there might be some people with inherent entrepreneurial drive and inclinations from other non-technical resources, the tertiary education system presents one of the best and most viable sources to recruit new technological entrepreneurs. Thus, there is a need to understand how to develop entrepreneurial skills among students while still in school. Their knowledge of and attitude towards entrepreneurship do influence their inclination to start their own businesses in the future. In India, we have notable institutes of repute on entrepreneurship, namely the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship in Guwahati, set up by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, and the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Besides these, many private institutes run similar programs in the country now, looking at growing demand and market trend. To nurture vast entrepreneurial talent within the country, the Startup India plan was unveiled by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji on 16 January 2016 to highlight several initiatives and schemes proposed by the Government of India to build a strong ecosystem to nurture innovation and empower startups across India. The 19-point action plan envisages several incubation centers, easier patent filing, tax exemptions, ease of setting up businesses, a 10,000 crore corpus fund, and a faster exit mechanism, amongst others. Over 1,500 CEO startup founders and investors who attended the Startup India launch included Masayoshi Son from SoftBank, Mr. Travis Kalanick from Uber, Mr. Sachin Bansal from Flipkart, Vijay Shekhar from Sharma from Paytm. Startup India campaign has received worldwide support for its attempt to bring startups to the forefront of India's growth story. It allows entrepreneurs to focus on their core business instead of time dealing with regulatory compliances, while empowering them with a strong ecosystem to support their creativity and growth. We have spent years acting as the back office for many international brands and companies. However, with growth in confidence of Indian youth towards taking risk of establishing their own companies, powered by the IT revolution of the age, Indians are today standing on their entrepreneurial feet. Take that, some of India's most successful startups that went on to become huge businesses have been in the IT domain, be it Flipkart, Just Dial, Book My Show, Make My Trip, or even Shaadi.com. India's Union Budget 2021 had a sharp focus on boosting small and medium-scale startups, as well as strengthening the investor ecosystem in the country. The pandemic has reiterated the key role of Indian startups in reviving economic growth and backing India's mission to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025. According to the Global Innovation Index 2020, India tops the list in innovation economies ranking in the Central and South Asia, with keen to invest in startups across industries such as fintech, retail, video streaming, agriculture, healthcare, education tech, edtech, logistics, shipping, insurance, and more to create a robust, sustainable structure that supports early-stage tech entrepreneurs in the country. The pandemic has changed consumer behaviors as well as preferences, and an innovation-led entrepreneurial ecosystem can help cater to these changes. The Honorable Prime Minister's recent announcement of the launch of 1,000 crores, which was also mentioned by Amit, Startup India Seed Fund to support startups, is an encouraging step in the right direction. The Union Budget of 2021-22 also offered some impetus by way of tax holidays and lowering compliance burdens for startups and exemptions for investors and entrepreneurs. A few days back, Honorable Prime Minister released 1,625 crore for women entrepreneurs. These are indications that upcoming 1 or 2 years will provide opportunity to everyone to elongate wings and soar higher. What needs to build on is an ecosystem with much increased avenues for advice and mentorship, platforms for budding entrepreneurs to engage with successful early-stage entrepreneurs, and our education systems becoming more and more focused on the power of impact that entrepreneurship holds. We need to help our young professionals and research students think about market-led innovations using cutting-edge technology to solve real-world problems across industries. For a successful entrepreneurship startup model, one needs to access to capital and funding, which is very, very crucial. With vibrancy in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, startups today have access to multiple sources of funding from venture capitalists and private equities, angel investors, banks, and financial institutions, as well as incubators. The startups betting high on the ecosystem, there is significant maturity observed in terms of funding. Unlike a few years ago when financing was debt-oriented, the participation of venture capitalists has grown in India. Today, segments such as travel, matrimonial services, jobs, games, mobile payments, etc., are getting substantial capital infusion. The relaxed norms and introduction of new reforms by the Indian government has further encouraged the investors to park their money in India, filling the big lacuna in the entrepreneurial ecosystem in India, which earlier discouraged many budding startups. The investors have now gained confidence on either Indian caliber and are ready to take the risk. While IT-related ventures continue to rule, startups in sectors like clean tech and renewable energy, retail, healthcare, and education have seen increased funding activity. Gone are the days when Indian businesses flourish under the shadow of international brands and names. With more mature ecosystem and ample opportunities, Indians today are not only launching their own brands, but also marketing them in the international market under their own brand names. With owning patents of many products, Indian entrepreneurship set sail to conquer not just the domestic but international market as well. India received $64 billion foreign direct investment in 2020, the fifth largest recipient of inflows in the world according to a UN report, which said COVID-19 second wave in the country weighs heavily on the country's overall economic activities, but its strong fundamentals provide optimism for the medium term. The pandemic boosted demand for digital infrastructure and services globally. Major project announcements in the ICT industry included $2.8 billion investment by online retail giant Amazon in ICT infrastructure in India. India's strong fundamentals provide optimism. FDI to India has been on long-term growth trend, and its market size will continue to attract market-seeking investments. In addition, investment into the ICT industry is expected to keep growing. Despite the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic disrupting businesses across sectors, it hasn't stopped investors from cherry-picking opportunities in the India growth story and parking their funds in companies and startups of different stages. In the first half of 2021, 17 companies raised funds in the range of $100 million to $500 million, according to a recent report. Large stage deals recorded during the period under review also attracted top dollar, including India's largest education technology companies, Baidu raising $785 million and food delivery platform Swiggy raising $800 million in funding, the report said. Big ticket funding in the growth stage helped startups such as Meesho, PalmEasy, and ShareChart achieve the status of unicorn, privately held companies valued at $1 billion, the report said. Private equity investors are also shifting their focus towards sectors such as technology and healthcare, which show stronger potential for growth. Today, India has one of the world's largest startup ecosystem with over 40,000 startups and more than 50 unicorns. Today, technology companies dominating the funding space with 16 startups entering the unicorn club between January 1st and June 15th of this year, compared to 9 during the corresponding period last year. So, in fact, this is where the COVID has still not impacted the startups and the entrepreneurial zeal, which is very amply reflected in the kind of the value they have been able to generate in the last 5-6 months. One of the ways to exit for the startups and e-commerce companies is the IPOs, and you must have heard about the Zomato successful IPO. India IPO is poised for a record in 2021 after 38 firms raised 71,800 crores, with another 25 to 30 initial shares likely in the remainder of this year, including offers from Paytm, Flipkart, PhonePe, Nykaa, MobiKwik, PharmEasy, and Policy Bazaar funds raised from IPOs may exceed the peak reached in 2017. Abundant availability of liquidity globally, recovery in the economy, and earnings as states lift pandemic-related restrictions, measures by the government and the RBI to spur growth and help severely affected sectors are among the factors that boosted sentiment in the secondary market. The amount of money raised in IPOs this year has reached $8.8 billion, already surpassing the totals of the past 3 years. Though it's only August, at the current pace, 2021 would exceed the all-time record of $11.8 billion. The catalyst, in a word, is Zomato Limited, the food delivery startup which went public in July, and despite deep losses and mediocre prospects for profitability, shares have soared more than 70%. That has fueled the idea that similarly profit-challenged startups could find a strong reception from investors. Food delivery startup Zomato's initial public offering, the first by Indian unicorn, drew bids worth rupees 2 trillion, and it was subscribed more than 38 times. Zomato's losses widened between financial year 18 and financial year 20 from 107 crore to rupees 2386 crore. However, the cash burn has helped the company grow its top line 5 times from rupees 466 crore to rupees 2605 crores. Now, the Zomato is trading at a 65% premium over its IPO issue, giving it a valuation of $14.2 billion. Last but not least, entrepreneurs should not worry too much about failures. We have a case study of how a young entrepreneur leveraged technology to change our lives forever. In 1985, less than 10 years after he founded Apple, Steve Jobs was fired from his very own company he set up. He was out. How Steve Jobs' biggest failure can teach us what it means to succeed. At age 30, and this is especially for the young students who are dreaming and aiming and aspiring to become young entrepreneurs. At age 30, his life was flipped upside down and he needed to move on from only businesses he had ever known. Steve Jobs was forced to resign from CEO from Apple when CEO John Sculley felt Apple needed to reorganize and shift gears. He didn't see Steve Jobs in the tech company's future plans, so Steve Jobs was gone, famously gone from Apple. It would take nearly 12 years before Steve Jobs came back to Apple that he started. Shortly after returning in 1997, Jobs took Apple into the stratosphere and completely revolutionized personal computers, handheld technology, and the way we consume information. We know Jobs today as one of the titans of tech, a giant of Silicon Valley, and a legion of business. This failure profoundly impacted the way he thought and how he would innovate and use technology as a tool to change the way billions of people live. As Jobs famously said in his Stanford University commencement address in 2005, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that dots will somehow connect you in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, your destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. That will make all the difference. With these words, I conclude my address, and I sincerely hope I was able to do justice to the opportunity provided to me today. I thank the administration, the faculty, and students of IMT College of Management, the institution innovation cell, and in particular, Dr. Abhin Bakshi Bhatnagarji and Amit, my friend, and for reaching out, inviting me on the occasion of the World Entrepreneurs Day 2021. As Steve Jobs insisted, I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from non-successful ones is pure perseverance. So keep on trying, and I wish the very best to each one of you for your future. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Thank you very much, Ajay sir, for so much enlightened, and you enlightened us with your experience and knowledge, and you throw light on different perspectives of entrepreneurship. There is one question which is arising in my mind, that as you told that entrepreneurs should not fear failures, and we all know that we are the most daredevil when we are young. So do you feel that we have that education policy that support entrepreneurship right now?
Two things, Samit. One is that the government is very sensitive to this aspiration, the aspiration of this new asset class, the new startups or the entrepreneurs. The government is very extremely sensitive. Prime Minister Modi is very sensitive, and we have seen numerous initiatives undertaken by him in the last many years. But there's another element to it. And if you look at the global trend, many of the successful startups, and I don't want to be quoted outside the faculty and the college, is they have been college dropouts.
Yeah, sure.
Whether it was Bill Gates or Larry Ellison. So education is one part of it. But what is more important is the entrepreneurial streak the young entrepreneur should have. The passion to take risks, the passion to impact the society, the passion to disrupt the existing normal, to create solutions for the betterment of society. So there are two elements to it. Education obviously helps. Education creates the framework by which you are able to think. But you also need to have these attributes of passion to take risks and disrupt the existing normal to create more value addition to the society.
One question is there, Sharma Sahab, if you allow. Last question from students. One of the students just WhatsApp me a question that first generation entrepreneurs, like young generation, first time they are coming, they are facing problems, hindrances, mainly hindrances and challenges regarding the funds and the market. So how the government is helping such kind of first generation entrepreneurs?
Yes. So if you look at all the 40 odd, 50 odd unicorns, which we just mentioned in my address lecture today, they're all first generation. I don't think that anyone's father was a billionaire. I don't think that Mr. Sharma from Paytm's father was a millionaire or billionaire. More important is that we have different schemes under which you can seek funds and guidance. One is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, under which we have the Department for Industry Promotion and Internal Trade, which is called the DPIIT, under which the startup program falls. So there are a lot of existing schemes under which you can actually reach out to this particular department or DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce, for guidance, for mentorship, and also for funding support. Then we also have various other, like Niti Aayog has Atal Innovation Mission. So therefore, we have a lot of schemes at the center level and the state levels. And the government is ensuring that funds, you see, I'll tell you basically, for young entrepreneurs, if you have a good business plan, the money is going to chase the idea. You can be assured of that. And this is the private capital. We are talking about private equity. The unicorns don't take money. They have not been funded by government. Yes, there are examples where you need seed fund, you need initial capital, for which the government is willing to handhold. And as I just mentioned to you, that there are schemes under the various ministries. I think most of the ministries have it, who can guide you, who can also give you some kind of a seed capital or initial investment to build up your business cases, sorry. So I hope I was able to do a little.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yeah, thank you. Amitji, you are not audible. Amitji, you are not audible.
I hope.
Am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, that was
मैंने थोड़ा सा अपने talk को थोड़ा सा edit कर दिया because it was very technical and I didn't want to get too much into technicalities of it. So I just the broad contours of the technological entrepreneurship, so that the interest of the students is remains.
Exactly.
So taken some examples of the market case studies,
right.
And the recent IPOs and the recent success cases.
Right.
And of course, Steve Jobs has been one of the biggest inspirations for young entrepreneurs. And the kind, when he passed, I remember when he died, there was a big full-page article in Economic Times. And that is when we realized that Steve Jobs, the man who actually created Apple, was also thrown out of Apple.
Yes.
And when he was out of Apple, he again created successful ventures. For example, there's a very famous Hollywood production house called Pixar. They do a lot of animated films. So Pixar was founded, and he was CEO of Pixar also. And there were many other successful ventures before he came back to Apple. Steve Jobs never did he never did any product test of his product, market test of his products, because Steve always believed that, he knew the expectation of his consumers. He knew what the consumers wanted. And that is the beauty, and that is the success of an entrepreneur. He must know what is the gap, what is needed. And if he's able to deliver that, I'm sure the success is going to follow him.
Exactly, Virji. One more question that I received from a student. As you know that most of the audience are students, and they have a very basic question in their mind. And that, as you told in your lecture, that some skills are inherited. But apart from those inherited skills, what do you think that what are those skills that is needed in a student or to the person who want to start a business or something on a very grassroots level? Do you feel that there are some special skills, or how should they develop themselves?
See, there are two elements to this statement. One is that entrepreneurs can also have inherent born traits, if I may use the word traits, but they can also acquire these skills, and that is where education can play a very important role. Now, what has happened in US and what we have witnessed is that US had a very, very entrepreneurial society. If you look at the Silicon Valley, they created that ecosystem where ideas could be nurtured and commercialized. India is still in that stage. We have not reached that stage, but we are still in that stage. So therefore, both the elements are there. One is that an entrepreneur can be born with an inherent trait, and he can also acquire skills where knowledge and education plays a very, very important role. More than that, what I mentioned earlier also is that the young entrepreneurs and startup, they should have a lot of flair and passion. See, idea is one. See, everybody could be having many ideas, but the capability and the ability to deliver is also very important. And for that, you need a lot of perseverance. You need a lot of determination, because you're out there, competing with more than 130 crore people. So you have to have perseverance. You have to have determination. and you have to have a lot of passion. You have to take a lot of hits. You have to fail before you actually rise. So all the success stories must have come after a lot of failures. So they should not get disheartened. And if they're determined, I'm sure they would succeed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And I really hope that the students will they have understand that the success stories are written on the pillars of failures. So they will must take this word from you. And we are really delighted that you came here today and enlightened us to all of us, all our students. And so now we are close to the finishing of program. And sir, would you like to ask something? Tell something?
Yeah, please go ahead. Bhatnagar sir,
yes, I would like to say something before the sir is mentioning. We are really fortunate that such a learned, legendary, and knowledgeable person is with us. So, sir, it's my request to you, once the students in the campus, sir, I request that if you visit us and in our some program, Amit ji, please schedule some meeting with sir in the campus. This is my request, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhatnagar, Professor Nigam, Mr. Sharma. Thank you all, and I once again convey my best wishes to all of you. And I hope that you all are safe and healthy, because you know the doubt of the third wave or the Delta plus and God knows what all is still around. So one has to be very careful. I think all of you should get vaccinated. India has already undertaken the largest vaccination drive in the world today, but we are looking at trends, global trends, where in Australia or US there has been a dramatic surge in the COVID pandemic. So therefore, I would request all of you to remain very, very careful. Take care and all the best, and hope to be in touch with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.